beautiful and intoxicating, heartbreaking and soul-crushing, often
Definitely
all at the
is.
same time. Why do we choose to put ourselves through its emotional ringer? Does love make our lives meaningful? Or is it an
Maybe.
escape from our loneliness and suffering? Is love a
Definitely.
disguise for our sexual desire? Or a trick of biology to make us procreate? Is
That
it
one
all we need?
Might be true.
Do we need it at all? If romantic love has a purpose, neither science nor psychology has discovered it yet.
Do you love your
Psychology has theories.
Stop saying, I love you. Seriously, it's the most misused phrase on earth.
That's true too.
It's a nice thing to say to someone, but tell me, do you mean it?
Do you mean it?
A lot of people say it because it's convenient, but tell me, do you really mean it?
This is deep.
Are you eating that fish? The man says, because I love fish. He says,
Oh.
oh, you love the fish. That's why you took it out of the water and killed it and boiled it. He said, don't tell me you love the fish. You love yourself. And because the fish tastes good to you, therefore, you took it out of the water and killed it and boiled it. So much of what is love, right, is fish love.
Yeah.
Reporter asked an elderly couple, how did you manage to stay together for 65
Good
years?
question.
The woman's reply blew me away. She said, we were born in a time when if something was broken, we would fix it,
Yeah.
not just throw it away.
I still behave that way. In my
Hearing her
heart.
words made me pause for a second. No, more than just a second, because it made me realize that what most people call love today
possession.
isn't love at all. It's possession.
A couple falls in love. Young man and young woman fall in love. What does that
True.
mean? That means that he saw in this woman someone who he felt could provide him with all of his physical and emotional needs.
Okay.
And she saw in this man somebody she feels that she can write. That was love.
Sounds like a
But each
codependency.
one is looking out for their own needs.
Love tricks us into having babies. Much later, German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer maintained that love, based in sexual desire, was a voluptuous illusion. He suggested that we love because our desires lead us to believe that another person will make us happy. But we are sorely mistaken. Nature is tricking us into procreating, and the loving fusion we seek is consummated in our children. When our sexual
I don't believe
desires are
that.
satisfied, we are thrown back into our
Seems
tormented
wrong.
existences.
It's not love for the other. The other person becomes a vehicle
Okay.
for my gratification.
Oh.
Love says, I want you to be happy. Possession says,
Yeah.
I want you to make me happy.
British philosopher Bertrand Russell, we love in order to
Fan
quench
Nova
our
theory.
physical and psychological desires. Humans are designed to procreate,
Yes.
but without the ecstasy of passionate love, sex is unsatisfying. Our fear of the cold, cruel world tempts us to build hard shells to protect and isolate ourselves.
I feel that.
Love's delight, intimacy, and warmth helps us overcome our fear of the world, escape
I
our
love
lonely
that.
shells, and engage more abundantly in life. Love enriches our whole being, making it the best thing in life.
Of what is
I really
called
like that
love
sentiment.
is fish love. Right? An external love is not on what I'm going to get, but what I'm going to give.
Yeah.
Something wrong is what is at the core of how we try to understand why would people risk losing everything
That's a good question.
and cheat on their partner to whom they have made a vow.
I-
Our typical idea is that if I have found the one,
Okay.
and if with that one I have everything I need, obviously if I'm going to look elsewhere, it must mean that there is something missing.
Yes.
And either there's something missing in our relationship or there's something missing in the person.
That's the one I
who's
believe.
straying.
If
But
somebody
it is a
cheats, something's wrong with
deficiency
them.
model. It is
It's not your
seeing
fault.
infidelity as a symptom of a relationship gone awry. This is true in many cases.
Yeah.
There-
People
It
make a
is.
serious mistake in thinking that you give to those whom you love. And the real answer is, you love those to whom you give.
Love is a misleading affliction.
Interesting.
Siddhartha Gautama, who became known as the Buddha or the Enlightened One,
Buddha.
probably would have had some interesting arguments with Russell. Buddha proposed that we love because we are trying to satisfy our base desires. Yet, our passionate
think so.
cravings are defects, and attachments, even romantic love, are a great source of suffering. Luckily, Buddha discovered
can
the
be-
Eightfold Path,
but they can
sort
be a
of
source of
program
so
for
much good,
extinguishing the
too.
fires of
I
desire,
think this guy's
so that we can
outlook was a
reach
little
nirvana.
negative.
an enlightened state
Towards
of
romantic
peace,
love.
clarity, wisdom, and compassion.
And not to be a cynic, but I feel most people in our generation just don't know the difference. So if you're
too.
confused, then stop saying I love you. Don't even fix your lips to make the sound. You want to know the difference between love and
I do.
possession? Well, stay tuned as I break it down.
There are many motives for why people
Oh.
stray that have to do with the
The
discontent
jacket was
of
in the
a
background.
relationship.
Oof.
Loneliness, neglect, rejection, complacency,
Oh.
sexlessness. But then there is also the motivation that often has nothing to do with the partner.
Okay.
And that has to do with a form of self-seeking. That many times people who stray are also hoping to reconnect with lost parts of themselves.
Makes sense.
Love lets us reach beyond
But I don't
ourselves.
think that's an excuse.
Let's
There's
end
no
on a
excuse for
slightly
cheating
more
on someone.
positive note. The French philosopher Simone de Beauvoir proposed that love is the desire to integrate with another,
Okay.
and that it infuses our lives with meaning. However, she was less concerned with why we love and more interested in how we can love better. She saw
Like
that the
that.
problem with traditional romantic love is it can be so captivating that we are tempted to make it our only reason for being. Yet dependence on another to justify
Yeah.
our existence easily leads to boredom and power games.
Okay.
To avoid this trap, Beauvoir advised loving authentically, which is more like a great friendship.
That's what I
Lovers
try to
support
do.
each other in discovering themselves, reaching beyond themselves, and enriching their lives and the world together.
See, while
I believe
possession
in a
says
different
me,
type of love.
love says
they're
we.
describing, though.
Possession is a cage,
The
love
psychological
is the sea.
model of love
Possession
that I
wants to
stand by.
control, love wants to free. Possession wants to become, love wants to be.
And his point is, if I give something to you, I've invested myself in you, right? And since self-love is a given, everybody loves themselves, now that part of me has become in you, right, there's part of me in you that I love. Right? So true
But
love
ignore
is a
that
love of
little
giving,
thing right
not a
there.
love of receiving.
That's where I got it from.
Fundamentally believe that this is the right course
Feel
of
free to
action
check
and
it out,
stick
though.
with it. Like in a relationship. I bought her flowers and I wished her happy birthday.
Okay.
And she doesn't love me. Clearly I'll give up.
I-
That's not what happens. If you believe there's something
I can
there,
feel that.
you commit yourself to an act of service.
Commitment, yes.
You commit yourself to the regime, the exercise. You can screw it up. You can eat chocolate cake one day. You can skip a day or two.
Yeah.
You know, it allows for that. But if you stick with it
does.
consistently, I'm not exactly sure what day, but I know you'll start getting into shape. I know it. And the same with the relationship. It's not about the events. It's not about intensity. It's about consistency.
The popular belief, true love is not blind.
Yeah.
It has 20/20 vision. And a loving relationship is not 50/50 either.
Sounds
It is
like
100/100, a total commitment.
I agree. Commitment.
It's not a
is key.
trade or a balancing act. It is all chips on the table, your
Yep.
whole heart, and that's that.
Exactly.
I've been married 82 years.
Aw.
So now, Miss Willie, you said that the secret to a happy marriage is being nice to
I need
each
to hear
other.
this.
Yeah. Any other advice you have?
Just sit down and talk things over.
Talk things over.
Oh, yeah, and get a good understanding of what you're doing and where you're going.
Because possession is actually the opposite of love. Its other name is addiction.
Okay.
Love has an alias too. It goes by understanding, and
So
commitment.
understanding is a pillar of love.
Like, what's the metric? Give me the number that helps me know, right? Because when you met her, you didn't love her.
It's true. You don't
Now you
need
love
somebody
her.
to love them instantly.
How long did you court her before you asked her to marry you?
Oh, about 3 months or so.
Oh wow.
3 months.
That's all. That's all you need, I guess.
When you're young, you don't know any better.
Right.
When you get older, you learn your lesson.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you know better.
Right. Now, how old was y'all when y'all got married?
I was 19 years old.
You was 19. Now, Mr. DW was 19,
Right.
and he 103 now,
Right.
and you 100.
She was 16.
Right? Tell me the day the love happened.
Oh.
It's an impossible question. But it's not that it doesn't exist, it's that it's much easier to prove over time, right?
Sorry.
Let me ask you this. What have you learned from your parents' relationship over the years?
That's true love.
True love.
Yes.
Okay. So
Possession keeps
loves
receipts
real.
to remember its good deeds. Love does not keep score, but remembers. We are on the same team. Possession hardens the heart. Love softens it. Possession picks a flower out of the ground, but love waters it. Possession wants to hide. Love is vulnerable and exposed. Possession sees the body. Love sees the soul.
That's true.
Might never know why we fall in love. We can be certain that it'll be an emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
ride. It's scary and exhilarating.
It is.
It makes us suffer and makes us soar.
Great.
Maybe we lose ourselves. Maybe we find ourselves. It might be heartbreaking, or it might just be the best thing in life. Will you dare to find out?
I will.
She didn't fall in love with you because you remembered her birthday and bought her flowers on Valentine's Day. She fell in love with you because when you woke up in the morning, you said good morning to her before you checked your phone.
I do that to the person
She
I
fell in
love.
love with you because when you went to the fridge to get yourself a drink, you got her one without even asking.
Yeah.
She fell in love with you because when you had an amazing day at work and she came home and she had a terrible day at work, you didn't say, yeah, but let me tell you about my day. You sat and listened to her
terrible.
awful day and you didn't say a thing about your amazing day. This is why she fell in love with you. I can't tell you exactly what day, and it was no particular thing you did. It was the accumulation of all of those little things.
I love this.
That she woke up one day and as if she pressed a button, she goes, I love him.
Okay, so essentially the point of this video is to talk about and look at what is love and is it real? Like, is it needed? It's such a complex topic, right? But before we get into talking about that any more than we already have at this point, I just want to quickly say, go ahead and check the description down below for links to the original videos that we showed in the beginning. Because those are truly what got me thinking about this concept. And while I usually do a lot of research before pushing out a video because I want to make sure it's as accurate as possible, those were the inspiration this time. Not necessarily research, not necessarily anything else. So please, please, please watch those videos if you want to. Now, from my understanding, if I'm interpreting these videos correctly, and they seem to align with some of my personal experiences, that love is complex, but it does exist. One of the very foundational level of love is friendship. From there, consistency must be done, which can help develop this feeling. And then you stay consistent. It's like little small steps every time, but they start adding up into a big thing. And that is love. Now, commitment is a key to love. That's what we know. We know that small things become big things. But there are all those other thoughts. Is love evil? No. It can lead to pain. It can lead to hurt. But it can lead to so much beautiful things. I feel like when used incorrectly or when it's not real love, then yes, it can be bad. But so can anything. Anything can be bad if somebody chooses for it to be. This wire right here is a phone wire. This charges my phone. Is it inherently bad? No. If I use it to harm somebody or myself, would it be bad? No, because I did it, not the wire. The wire does not have its own consciousness and it doesn't make its own decisions. Love itself is but a concept. And as it's a concept, and at that I believe it's a social concept and a social construct, even with its, it has a genetic component to love, and a chemical component. It's just really, love is a few chemicals that react in your brain. At a scientific level, that's what it is. At a psychological level, it is theorized to be so much more. And there's a concept that there are these three components that need to be for love. There needs to be physical attraction, a kinship, so a really close friendship, and then commitment. Those are the three main parts of love. And when you have those, you get consummate love, which is the type of love that should lead to marriage. The problem is, love doesn't really fade, but sometimes after a long while, love Tristan to more of a feeling more like a friendship than it did in the beginning. In the beginning stages, there was all this passion. Matter of fact, that's what I meant with physical attraction and passion. Those are the same thing to me. The passion sometimes goes a little less. It's not as severe or as strong as it was when it first started. And sometimes it leads people to cheat. That does not detract from the fact that love is real. It just means that sometimes people are faulty in their character. We make bad decisions and there is no justifying it. That is faulty character. If you cheat on somebody, you have something that's wrong inside of you. And can you change? Yes. You can change. Can the relationship remain after getting cheated on? Yes, it can. But you're going to have to work on it. You're going to have to try and show that you can earn your trust back. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about trust and commitment. So, I know it seems like I'm rambling at this point. I feel like you guys understand what I'm saying, though. Love is complex, and that's kind of the point of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and if you did, smash that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. But anyway, I hope you guys have a nice night, evening, or day, depending on when you're watching. And I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody. Peace out, everybody.